Hi Virgo, welcome to your October 2019 reading. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please welcome to like, comment, subscribe. I just moved over from Facebook to YouTube, but I've been reading for several years now. Very excited to have you here. Sorry that the monthly is late. I ran out of steam after doing 10 of them, so Leos and Virgos unfortunately had to wait all the way until the 10th. I do deal with chronic fatigue and chronic pain, so every once in a while I run out of steam. But anyways, here we are today. I hope you like that I'm wearing my Martian pajamas. They're pretty great, pretty comfortable. Hugs, intergalactic hugs. It's the best kind of hugs. It's the only kind of hugs that I know how to give. So we're going to get into your October reading. I'm very excited for you, Virgo. I don't know why I feel so excited all of a sudden. Tapping in some of that energy. Hopefully that's how you're feeling. I don't know. I guess we're going to see what you need to know for October 2019. Oh, that's really, really interesting. Okay, maybe it's just my excitement. So, as I was shuffling for you before I started the video, I sometimes will just like cut the deck and be like, what's the energy? And the Four of Cups, discontent and boredom, had come out, and I went, oh, that's interesting, but I didn't really want to listen to it, so I just put it back in, but here it is. Discontent and boredom, Four of Cups. Okay, so the Four of Cups energy, green border cards, by the way. Cup energy means the realm of love, emotions, our inner mysticism, shadowy, watery kind of energy. And this is like getting stuck looking at certain things and not recognizing that there's another really amazing, divinely guided, rainbowy, reflecting option out there. It's not really paying attention. It's not seeing that there are other things available to you. So that's sort of the energy of the overarching energy. That's what came out first. Also the card on the bottom, I can't help but look, I see disruption. Don't know if we'll get that card, but something to think about here, Virgo. So what's going on for Virgo in October 2019? Oh, please do remember that the timing is fluid. Whenever you come across this video, that's when it's meant for you. This can be Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What else? What else do you need to know? I'm having a total brain blank right now. They're collective reads for your zodiac, right? So it's overarching energy manifested differently in everyone's life. If it resonates, that's great. If it doesn't resonate, there's lots of other readers out there who might be more tapped into you. And also they're general. So if it does resonate, but you're like, holy moly, I need more information, you can reach out and we can do a private read. That's no problem. But let's find out. Oh, crown chakra. I'm going to get a few cards here. Ooh. Yeah, no wonder discontent and boredom. Oh, okay, it's not all bad. Oh my goodness. Whoa, Virgo, holy moly. Okay, that's too many. That's too many. I'm gonna get one more for Virgo. This is quite the read. You might not be feeling super great right now, or feeling like pretty limited and impatient at the moment. Impatient! Right when the patience card flips out upside down in my hand. I'm sorry, Virgo. I'm like blown away. I don't know why I'm surprised. It's like I read tarot and oracle. It's like I have certain faith in the messages that come through, and it's just like, but it still knocks my socks off when something like that happens. Literally, I was saying the word impatience, and the patience card comes out upside down and like flipped right side up to upside down in my hand. I don't know if you saw that. Anyways, I'm just like totally waking out. So, Virgo, the overarching energy right now is discontent and boredom. Okay? And it's like, it makes sense because you are currently engaging in a healing of your crown chakra, the 7th chakra. So not even like the third eye type of knowledge, but like top of your head, top of your Martian head, into the universe. The universe. Oh my gosh. Which was the next card. But the discontent and boredom is coming from being like, it's funny because I just did Leo and they were feeling pretty blocked, but they were blocked by heart chakra stuff. You're like, oh my goodness gracious, I have huge ideas. I've got big, big things. And I'm talking to, you know, my spiritually connected Virgos. Not every Virgo is going to be in the same place, but these are the folks who are like, I have so much potential. There is so much out there in this world for me to explore, and I feel bored and stuck and stagnant. And what I want to invite you to remember is that oftentimes when we go through phases of depression, for example, or discontentment and boredom, that can come, those feelings come from the dissonance or that difference between where we're at, or where we perceive ourselves to be at, and where we think we're supposed to be. And then all that space in between, however much space there is, causes the discontent. So it really is like trying to draw us back into being okay with where we're at right now, recognizing that the story hasn't unfolded yet, but it is, and there are things going on behind the scenes that we can't see, but we feel them. One of my greatest teachers answered a question from another student who said, you know, why do I go through really intense bouts of anxiety or depression? And again, depression is very complicated. There's neurophysiological, biological factors that play into it, genetics, all of that sort of stuff, and I definitely would not ever, ever, ever want to invalidate that. But on a spiritual level, what my teacher did say is that we go into phases of despair when there's a part of us on a soul level that's waking up and starts to be very, very uncomfortable and discontent with the current environment or situation that one is in. Recognizing as you start to wake up, say you're working in a corner store, nothing wrong with that, and it was making you perfectly happy for many, many years, and then you start to wake up to your spiritual path, for example. You may find yourself less able to concentrate on your work. Same with being in school, same with any type of career. People tend to start to feel discontent and get bored as they start to wake up to different versions of themselves, higher levels of their own consciousness on the path. So that's probably what's happening right now. That's the sense that I get. And that's coming through the fact that you're having a crown chakra. I don't necessarily think it's a healing. I think it's an awakening. I think that that's happening. You're starting to really get connected and feel excited about tapping into your connection to the divine, potentially getting excited, realizing that you do have certain psychic and spiritual capabilities and connection to things that you didn't realize that you had before. It's like before it was, oh, I'm interested in learning as much as I can about the world. And now you're like, I want to learn about the whole universe. Oh, wow, I am awake. My eyes are wide open. I can see the potential. I can see there is so much more. And then when you have to participate in our regular 3D reality, that can trigger really, really strong feelings of discontent and boredom. You're like, but there's so much else out there. Why do I have to participate in this world, in this system? Especially if you're, feeling like you're recognizing that you are a starseed, if you're recognizing that, this has never really felt totally like home to you. It really depends on how deep you want to go down the spiritual rabbit hole. There's a lot to consider. There's the possibility of past lives, if that's what you believe in, karmic cycles, maybe even not being of this earth, and I don't know, who am I to say, but that might be something that you're starting to consider and you want to read about and you want to learn about, but it's also when then you have to go to work, you have to go to school, you're like, this is bringing so much boredom, there's so much more out there and these people don't even know. So it could be a feeling of pretty intense disconnect. from what you're currently working on. And you are not alone in that. I think that globally we are having an awakening. Definitely has to do with, the age of technology, but also on a spiritual plane, people really starting to wake up and struggling with that significantly, because the world is not keeping up. The systems are not keeping up. And they're starting to crumble, and people really, really sense that. So that can lead us to feelings of despair. Spirit's reminding you to have some hope right there. You got to keep that light alive. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. I believe it's the Star card. And it's like, so the Star is the resolution to the Tower, and I don't see the Tower here. But I get the sense that perhaps in order to open up that crown chakra, maybe you had a Tower moment. I'm not sure. This is my first reading for you as a collective. So, I mean, oftentimes those Tower moments are the things that end up waking us up to our spiritual selves. That was certainly the case with me. And it took like a lot of Tower moments. Many things. Oh God, everything falling apart, in order to become that phoenix rising from the ashes. And that's the choice point, right? Things fall apart, and then spiritual growth comes from being like, that was traumatic. I'm going to grow from it instead of getting stuck. And if you get stuck, that's okay. I think eventually, you do make the choice to move forward. But I get the sense of these cards, like, you made that choice, you're already moving forward, but now we're getting back into a cycle of feeling bored, frustrated, and down, because you're like, when is my ship going to come in? When is the opportunity going to come for my new beginning and taking steps forward? And hey, new beginning, the Fool card. You got to have hope, right? Keep believing in the wonders of the universe. Maintain that connection through the crown chakra. Really focus on that. But really maintain that hope. I don't know if you can see it. There's a person in there. That's you. You're holding yourself. You're holding your divine being with compassion, recognizing that you have lived many lives, that you are divine, that you are made up of stardust. So is everyone else, but you have woken up to that fact. And you're just waiting for your new beginning so that you can take some steps. She looks like a very patient individual. And it's just so interesting, it really blows my mind, that the patience card is what came out when I was talking about being impatient. And it came out in the reverse. Now this deck, the person who authored it, John Holland, says don't read reversals, but to pay particular attention to the energy of that card. So patience is what's required. And having patience and groundedness, it's like choosing to acknowledge that you're still learning and you're on the path, and that there are things hidden that you are not yet aware of that are very, very relevant to your new beginning. They will be revealed to you, and you need to try and avoid the discontent and boredom. Even if you were just to turn around and look out there and go, okay, I'm stuck at this castle, looking over the edge, and I can't make a move yet because it's just not accessible to me. I've got to be here, whether it's at school, living in a certain place, working a certain job. You have to do it. You have to participate in the system for a while in order for your survival, to save up enough money for your project, whatever it is. But wouldn't it be great if you just turned around and looked at the things that you know are on the horizon and are available to you? Could that not give you some hope of who you are becoming, as you can see in that beautiful star that they're holding? And recognize that if you turn and look out at the universe and the possibilities, as opposed to looking at other people's social media. I'm totally guilty of this, but looking at other people's social media and seeing how successful they are, or how they have a more adventurous life, all of those things are actually really, they can be very, very harmful. So you need to use your discretion, and I just keep hearing the word patience over and over again. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, so I just heard wait your turn. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to get a turn. It's wait your turn. It's coming, but it doesn't happen at the same time for everybody. Some people, all this juicy stuff happens in their 20s. Some of us, it happens in our 30s. some of us in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I found this really amazing video a few days ago on Facebook that someone had posted of like a ballerina who's still dancing and teaching in her 70s. She's amazing, you know, this little woman, and she is on point doing these incredible movements. She's so strong. She's in her 70s, like late 70s, I think. So it's never too late, and sometimes what we're being asked to do by Spirit is just like be patient. It's manifesting, it's coming, your new beginning, but your responsibility is to maintain hope, recognize that you are the star, and that the universe is available to you. So only look at things that inspire you, okay? All right, I've been blabbing for quite some time now, so I'm going to do some clarifications here. For some reason, I feel like clarifying with this deck instead of my Rider-Waite-Smith. So let's clarify the crown chakra. We got triumphant success, but it was in the reverse. Again, not supposed to read reversals with this deck, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. I'm going to break the rules. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a tower moment, but it may have been a flop. You know, there was something that you thought was going to be a triumphant success, and it wasn't. And it was not for you, apparently, or whatever you learned from that particular thing woke you up, Virgo, and it woke up your crown chakra. Sorry, you can't see your crown chakra. It woke you up so much more than like you could have ever imagined, because it woke you up to an entirely new reality. It's like realizing that you're in the Matrix kind of thing, which is a big deal to figure that out, right? So, and I'm talking on a spiritual level. So, yeah, essentially there was something that you expected to be a triumphant success, kind of went sideways, kind of turned upside down, and that actually ended up being the greatest gift you could possibly imagine, because it shifted you into this crown chakra awakening and knowing. So now we're just waiting for your ships to come in. What do we need to know about the universe card? Ooh, destiny, victory, and success in the reverse. Again, not supposed to read. Okay. You recognize, Virgo, that you have a very important destiny, but it's not clear to you right now what it is, and you're kind of getting impatient. You're verging on losing some hope here, and when you do that, you feel like it all starts to disappear. Not just your destiny, but like you as a person, because whatever it is that your destiny is linked to purpose rather than I'm going to work this job for the rest of my life. It's more like vocation. It's for you something that you're truly, truly passionate about, deeply connected to, and when you start to lose touch with that divine connection, and when you start to lose that faith, it feels like almost your entire identity starts to dissolve, which is a big deal. So really, really maintaining that hope is important, and victory and success came out in the reverse. So yeah, this is about, what is it about? So it's basically, it's kind of like that triumphant success card. It's funny that they both came out in reverse. You're feeling like really downtrodden, I think, in whatever it is that project was. Might have been job related, a startup, a company, something, maybe some ideas. Maybe you're just looking on social media and seeing other people's success and being like, oh my goodness, I'm not on that level. What's wrong with me? Why hasn't it happened yet? I'm really, really getting into some self-pity here. Again, the message is to focus on hope. You are the star. You are the star seed. And the universe is yours because you are the universe. You're made up of the same stuff. That new beginning is coming, but you need to recognize that the destiny is actually the Wheel of Fortune card. So the wheel is coming around for you, and it already has, with that failure of something turning into your awakening. But now you're kind of waiting for the wheel to come back around so that you can shift and go. Yeah, oh my goodness, I get that frustration, Virgo. Okay, Hope card. What does Virgo need to know about the Hope card? Whoa. Too many. What does Virgo need to, almost thing. Virgo, what does Virgo need to know about the Hope card, please? There it is. Oh, love begins. That's nice. Haven't had any green cards. Our suit of cups hasn't come out on the table yet. Love begins. Yay. Okay, do be aware. This could be self-love, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think self-love sometimes is even better than romantic love, because self-love is the foundation on which you can build anything, whether it's your creative pursuits, your empire, financially, whether it is building a stronger mindset. So I'm going over all of the pentacle energy, wand energy, and sword energy. You can be the ultimate manifester, the magician, when you have a strong foundation to stand on, and that does come from self-love. For some reason, I'm really getting like self-love. It's a message for you, Virgo. But it isn't to say that romance will not blossom. Keep the hope alive. Keep faith in yourself. I'm really getting like keep faith in yourself, and then that will create an opening for love to begin for you. That's nice. Let's clarify. Ooh, what just came around? Okay. Two of Cups came around before I even asked for it. What was interesting is that it came in the reverse. Maybe you are losing hope in the realm of love. Maybe you are feeling like you will never find your divine counterpart. I would like to use divine counterpart instead of twin flame. What's the other term? Twin flame. My brain today. Because I haven't had breakfast and it's already really late. Soulmate. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Soulmate. Soulmates, twin flames, all of that stuff. You never really know if those people are, they're not necessarily people that you'll even end up being in relationship with. Those tend to be more karmic things. Those tend to be ones that bring you lessons, whether in connection or in separation. They're helping you learn some very, very important lessons on the Fool's journey. Spiritual union is really, really beautiful because the spiritual union is the Two of Cups. That really does speak to, the Two of Cups is more of a divine counterpart card than, for example, the Lover's card, in my opinion. That's just through my experience. Anyways, it came out upside down. So what's really, really important is, I believe, focusing on your self-love right now, keeping that hope alive, recognizing your own value, really focusing on that, really, really committing to it and not worrying so much about external validation, what everyone else is doing, having romance, all of that sort of stuff. Really, really important to come back to yourself, because if you don't have that foundation, even when the love comes, ultimately over time you'll realize that it's not what you wanted. It's not what you wanted. Really, really being like, know thyself. Know thyself. Know thy boundaries. Know thy expectations. Know thy worth. Know your worth. Very important. Then the spiritual union can come. The divine counterpart can come. Truly, your divine counterpart can come, and it can come like right side up instead of upside down. Does that make sense? Yes. Oh my gosh, 24 minutes. Can you please clarify the New Beginnings card for Virgo? What does Virgo need to know about the New Beginnings card? And then I need breakfast because I'm going to pass out, Virgo. But I love you so much, so I'm doing this anyways. Because I'm more than a week late for your monthly reading. That's a lot. Movement, choices, decisions. That's the Two of Pentacles. Accelerated motion, Eight of Wands. Intuition card. Ooh, and looking into the spacey disc. Which, by the way, you'd probably see your face shining right back to you. Ooh, I bet that's what you would see if you looked into the spacey disc. That's very cool. And look, doors opening. doors opening, and then she walks through the door into the new beginning. She, he, they, doesn't matter. It's just an energy. Stepping into that new beginning that you want, even though right now you're feeling the discontent and boredom. Oh gosh. And it's going to come with the movement that you want. It's going to come with, well, talk about movement, the Eight of Wands energy, accelerated motion. It's going to come. You really have to keep that faith and really be working on yourself. Having patience. Patience in a positive way instead of, there's like patience and then there's boredom, right? Both of them involve a waiting game. I'm surprised we don't have the waiting game card out here right now. But anyways, movement. This could be you moving someplace. Could be a job opportunity. This could be love coming in quite quickly and needing to make a decision about that, whether or not it's right for you. Movement, choices, and decisions, all of that can come in. Patience, 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 patience. It's coming. It's coming. And intuitively, you know that. That's the thing. This is one of those things where it's like the ego wrestling with the higher self. And the higher self is just like, I don't want to play this game. I know what's true. I know I need to have patience. I know that. It's like when you really settle into a deep meditation, all of that ego stuff that you're wrestling with starts to fall away. And once it falls away, that's when you like access that heart wisdom and you're like, but deep down, I know that I just need to be patient. After you spend like a whole half an hour talking to your friend about how this is hard and this is hard, and like, it's very good to talk about these things, but then there's often like a falling away of all of that, where we sort of breathe a big sigh and go, but I know that I can't know right now, so I just have to be patient. Like, that's what your higher self is already knows intuitively. The door's gonna open. She's just like, she's got her eyes closed. She's like, deep breath, being patient. When the time is right, the eyes open, you see the reflection of your true being, and then you get to walk through the door into your new beginning. And it's going to involve movement, choices, decisions, accelerated motion, so much. Oh my goodness gracious, this is amazing. Okay, we're going to clarify the patience card. I feel like you already know what's up. Whoa. Oh my goodness gracious, Virgo. Patience. Clarified by patience and planning, which is so funny because it's like, this looks so similar. You've got the 4 seasons right here, and you've got like these represent the different elements, suits. Patience and planning. And you're going to get a kick out of this, Virgo. The solitude card. The Hermit. Okay? Man, that's so funny. I mean, maybe you're not thinking it's funny. I'm thinking it's funny, but maybe I'm a jerk. The patience card is clarified by patience and planning, and you have to do it in solitude, but you don't have to feel discontented and bored. You can just come into a place of acceptance through having patience. Wow. Solitude can be so good for us, but it's very easy to fall into the I'm lonely trap. And loneliness is absolutely legitimate. You do need to find balance, but don't completely distract yourself with friends or the romance, because it can take away from your personal process. Ultimately, life is entirely about balance, but sometimes that balance is achieved over several months, even several years, several lifetimes, if that's what you believe in. So it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game. I'm so surprised that I didn't have that one card. But all of these sort of communicate the same thing anyways. Solitude, but really, really, this is self-study. This is looking at yourself, your behaviors. It's doing all that good, juicy shadow work that all the readings have been about. But this is also like writing your own. We talked about this in one of, I think it was the Libra reading. I can't remember anymore. It was a long time ago. This is writing the guidebook to you, your instruction manual, the one that once you've established your values and your belief system, then when people come into your life, you're not going to have a union that's like this. You're going to have a union like this. It's someone who really sees you for who you are because you see yourself. And that's the self-love. The love begins. You've got to do that for yourself, and spending this time in solitude. Could also be studying anything in general. Maybe you just need to really commit to your studies right now, and then all the other things will come through out of those studies. Anyways, we're already at 30 minutes, so I'm going to do an oracle card. No. Yes, no. You gravitate towards one, and then the voice is like, no, other deck. Using the Wisdom of Avalon by Colette Baron Reid. What does Virgo need to know right now? There's a huge mess of cards on my desk right now, but it's very colorful and beautiful. Wah! Lady of the Lake. Oh my goodness, I'm so stiff. I'm going to the gym. Lady of the Lake. Absolute truth, courage, self-respect, responsibility. Yes. Okay. So this really is about... It's funny because she reminds me of the Solitude character here. Very, very much so. She's super focused on her personal truth. Absolute truth. Courage, self-respect, responsibility. It is not daydreaming about the things that you want. You'll get to a manifestation phase, but at the moment it's really, really going in, focusing on who you are and being very clear about boundaries. Just heard like boundaries and blockage. I think Virgo, you really need to work on boundaries. Yeah, and that's the responsibility that you have to yourself as you move from like, having the inner child run the show and then shifting into having the adult self and caretaker running the show, because that's what you want. These are very adult energies, right? Whereas she's sort of bent over this book and she looks like, yeah, she's an adult, but she's kind of got this innocence of a little child, almost a little bit downtrodden. And it's just like the grown-up aspect in you, the wise aspect in you, Virgo, knows exactly what you have to do. And it's spending that time in solitude, not giving all of your attention and your love away, just hoping to fill... what feels like a void. It's filling up your own cup. Filling up your own cup first. Yeah, truth, courage, self-respect, responsibility. I love that. That feels very, very complete to me, Virgo. So I hope this reading resonated for you. If you do want more information, please feel free to reach out and we can set up a private read. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I will see you soon.